The following Toku Podcastu contains spoilers from both past and present tokusatsu, anime, manga, movies and other related media. If you do not wish to be spoiled, we suggest turning off the podcast now. Otherwise, please enjoy the show.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Tokusatsu Podcastu, the best show about tokusatsu you probably never heard of. Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. That's all I got to say. That's Jay.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Look, guys, I don't know what you want me to say here. I don't remember half of the show, and the other half is terrible. Okay? What do you want from me? What do we do?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Just to suffer. So, if you have not read the title of the show already, we're doing Armor Heroes, China's very own tokusatsu. Yeah, that's my sentiments exactly. So, Jay, you watched this, right?
I think I watched this. I don't know.
I don't remember.
So
from what
I can remember, which is always a good sign, there was something Village of Light and Darkness, something Evil Shadow King, something
Shadow Realm,
magical armors of light that defeated the shadows, and then they come back. I think they said like once every something amount of years. I don't remember. But we've got our heroes in their ancient battle armor fighting the evil monsters from the Shadow Realm. That is basically the entire plot of the show. Repeat that exact plot for 50 episodes.
52 to be exactly.
52, yeah.
This is gonna be a tough one because I legitimately don't remember shit. I'm actually trying.
You just finished it.
I did. Look, okay. So we had to watch this for like 3 weeks already, I think, right? So it was 3 weeks. So
about that.
So about a month of us having to watch this show. Jay finished it a long time before I did. Then I watched it. And then I forgot that I watched it, so I watched it again. And then I watched it again. And now I'm here. And now I'm here recording. And I don't know if I've actually watched it or if it was all a fucking fever dream.
Well, it was kind of a fever dream, but
that was because of the fucking. All right, you know what? We'll get to the dub. We'll get to all that shit. So let's try and conform our thoughts here. Let's talk about.
Okay.
There's no heroes in this show because nobody has a fucking personality.
That's the worst part about this is that you can't talk about any of the characters like we usually do because
they're not characters.
They're not characters.
There's Mastiff Man. Mastiff Man is the only person who has some sort of personality. I mean, that's because he's a fucking dick. No. You're thinking of the Rhino guy. He's the one who's a huge dick. That's the fucking. I can't even remember who it was.
You are right though. Is that we watched the dub. AJ watched a little bit of the Chinese version, but I did not want to bother with that for a variety of reasons. So we're gonna go by the dub names, which coincidentally I was looking up because I forgot basically all of them, and it was weird because like some characters they are just called that in the original version, but then others, they've given them completely different names, and of course they did that thing every lazy dub does, is that they gave them super Americanized names that don't even match.
Jimmy,
Eric, Sam, Ivan. You know, the average American name.
Fucking Ivan was the fucking worst one because I'm just like. I have never, maybe there is somebody out there, but have you ever met a Chinese person in your fucking life who was named Ivan?
Have you ever met a Chinese person in your life named, like, fucking Charlie or fucking Bill and Denny? And, well, okay, I think I know a Chinese guy named Denny, but you get the idea.
I've known some Jimmys and some Ryans who are like Asian, but I have never met a single fucking person who names their child who is also Chinese or any sort of Asian Ivan. If you're out there, please talk to us. Make us believe that you exist, because I don't believe that.
But yes, so none of our heroes have any discernible characteristics or personality. The only one who has any degree of personality is, like AJ was saying, was Ivan, the Mastiff guy. And that's because he has an actual character arc and has motivations and he actually has, things to react to. Everybody else is just like, they're not even like one note. Like, who is the blue one? The eagle guy.
Eagle boy, yeah.
Eagle man, Sam.
That's right, Sam!
Yes, it was Sam. He kind of had a personality early on where he was kind of like a smug, like self-assured kind of guy. He was kind of like a little like the first like 2 episodes he was when he's doing like the secret agent shit, breaking into the hospital in episode 1, and then they just forgot that he had a personality, and then he's just there for he just fucking like comes in and no, you know what, the fucking red one, Eric the Dragon Man. He just fucking disappears for like huge chunks of the show. It's so
he
weird.
Does. I almost want to so maybe if somebody knows the skinny on this, like, does anybody know these guys were like really famous people or just something else? Because they just completely fucking vanished most of the sometimes.
Yeah, it was so weird. Characters just like come and go as they please. There's no, and that's not even just like the main characters. There will be side characters who will just disappear for huge stretches of time, and then they will just come back completely apropos of nothing. It is so baffling. And again, like, there's not a whole like there are like 3 actual characters, excluding our villains, and even then, there's only like 1 actual villain with a character. So it's hard to talk, like again, like, I can't even think of anything to say about half of them. Like, there's the Rhino guy who's just a huge douche for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, dude, even one of the characters is like, why the fuck are you such an asshole? And he doesn't even give him an answer. He's like, why are you such a dick? Like, there's no reason for him to be a dick.
He's just a dick for no reason at all. He's just an asshole.
And for some reason, we introduced the fact that Eric apparently has dead parents, I guess.
Like, that's the thing.
Was that him?
Realize, I think so. I think they all had dead parents.
Are you serious?
I don't know. They kept having this flashback of like, oh, there was somebody in an orphanage, and their parents died, so they were in an orphanage. But then the orphanage
I know
that
but they basically confirmed
never fucking
that,
said who that was. They just keep talking about them.
I know they basically confirmed that like Eric's girlfriend, I think, killed his parents by accident with bad green screen.
I guess so. Like, there are just so many characters. There are quote unquote characters in this show, but it's impossible to talk about any of them because like shit just kind of happens in this show. There's no the only character, like the only person who has any kind of like character or personality beyond like the 2 heroes I mentioned is he's the generic normie sidekick, Jimmy. The reporter Jimmy. Jimmy. Which again I actually looked up and is apparently just actually his name in the original version. I couldn't figure it out, but I guess.
Sure.
I don't know. He's. When I was making my notes, I compared him to Shinji because he's that kind of naive dipshit rookie reporter, which I guess it's probably still the closest one, but he's just kind of like, again, he's the stock reporter character. He is the normal guy who stumbles upon the world of the armor heroes. But normally that kind of character like is actually involved with it. No, he's just on the sideline for like most of the show, and he does nothing important. It's so fucking weird.
I honestly thought, I legitimately did think like, oh, is this guy gonna be an armor hero? Because they're kind of bigging him up some here and there, and I'm like, are they actually gonna do that?
Right?
And they don't do anything with him. He's just there.
I mean, I kind of liked him. He's fun. I like that dipshit rookie reporter type of character, but he doesn't do anything important. Like, he's kind of researching like the stuff about the villains and like reporting on the heroes, and he's taking their photos, and he's the one who's spreading news about them, and that's how I guess that's how the villains are figuring out what they're doing. I don't know. They never make it clear. They just know that there are armor heroes again. But then it's just like half the times he's just sitting around dicking about, not doing anything important. Like, he'll be like, oh, I'm chasing a lead on a story. And then we'll go 5 fucking episodes of him trying to find the lead to the story, and then it has absolutely no relevance to anything at all. And then repeat that 10 goddamn times a week, and that's every episode of this show.
It's really annoying to me, because, like, you know what? And this is not a fair comparison, but I feel like you're gonna get what I say. This feels like the kind of the problem I had with like Ultraman Z, where it's like, okay, they're trying to give us a story, but half the time they're just not. Like this one, it feels like, yeah, there's an overarching story here, but like they kind of forget about it. Like, I don't know how many fucking times. Or at least it feels like they forget about the fucking story. I don't know how many fucking times. Like, how many times did I actually watch this? Like, I'm trying to think, like, right now, like, how many times I watched an episode where it felt like they were actually furthering the story and not just kind of dicking around. And it's not easy to remember. I won't lie.
Well, I won't. I'll say that's not an entirely fair comparison, because Ultraman Z is at least coherent from episode to episode.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's not fair, but like I think you get what I mean.
Yeah. So it's difficult to talk about because like all of the major exposition of everything is just dumped on you in like a single episode, and then nothing fucking happens for the longest stretch of time. Shit is just happening. Whether you understand it or not, the show does not care. It is not concerned whether the audience understands what's going on. Things will just happen. It's so baffling.
And it doesn't help. It does not help. And I know we're kind of jumping the gun here, but I don't give a shit. It doesn't help that the fucking voice acting in this dub is fucking atrocious.
See,
it is. It's insulting, dude.
I'm sure you, who does voice acting stuff, is more insulted by I am. It's definitely awful. It's fucking atrocious dubbing, but it has that weird, like, Omni Pictures Godzilla dub quality to it, where it's like, you can tell they have 3 guys and only have money to do, like, 2 days worth of recording, so any kind of effort or quality control be damned. And it's...
You mean like the part where multiple characters, all it is just the guy going, oh, don't do that. Oh, that's bad.
Exactly.
Oh no!
It honestly sounds like they only have like 2 or 3 voice actors total, which on one hand they're relatively like it varies from character to character because some of them are fairly decent. Like again, the reporter dude Jimmy and Eagle Man Sam. I'm gonna keep calling him Eagle Man Sam in full like that every time. They're probably the best out of the dub cast because they're the only ones who are capable of showing any kind of emotion. I mean, moderately, of course. They're not particularly great, of course, but for what it is, for a dub that is probably made for, I'm going to assume like either Indonesia or somewhere in like Southeast Asia, which is what most of these dubs are usually made for. It's probably it's better than what I've usually seen come out from places like this, but it's definitely not a good dub. Objectively, it is not good.
For me, the part that starts getting me is when they start doing their voices, right? Read the script, but then they pitch them up, like badly pitch them up. Like if I were to like go into Audacity and make myself sound like a chipmunk, that's what it sounds like.
Oh yeah, no.
And you can hear the modulation and the weird artifacts that happens to your voice when you put it in Audacity and pitch it up, like that weird like.
Oh yeah, no.
And it's
I know
like,
exactly what you mean.
fuck is happening? What
it is very distracting, especially when you can tell that this is the same guy who voiced this other character 2 episodes ago, and
they're just talking to themselves,
or they're talking to themselves and interrupting themselves like it's fucking Sonic Adventure 2, and they're just every at least twice an episode there will be a moment where somebody just straight up interrupts somebody with the dub. They don't even there's not even it overlays. No, somebody will just stop talking and another person will just start talking over them. It happens all the time, and
don't forget the multiple times of oh, haha, hehehe, ho ho hee hee. That is literally what they do. It's like, oh, haha, oh, that's funny.
See, it's the funniest thing too about the interruptions, because I'm not sure if it's just that those characters are doing it because they're assholes, because everybody in this show is an asshole, or it's just incompetence. And that's the best part, is that you can't tell. It's so baffling.
Honest to God, it's probably one of those things where I could say, guys, if you can find at least an episode, don't pay attention to the story, because fuck the story, but listen to the voice acting. It is, and see, the thing is, it's not even just the voice acting. Not even just the voice acting. What's worse is the fucking sound mixing.
Oh my God. Okay, the sound mixing is
it makes 4Kids' fucking Yu-Gi-Oh dub sound fucking
I am not one to talk about sound mixing, but oh my God, it is horrendous. There is no consistent volume to anything. Sound effects, music, voice acting, nothing. It is just, there is no coherence.
It sounds almost like somebody just dumped it all in one timeline.
Might have been,
any sort of mixing.
There will be long stretches of time where there is just no music, no sound effects, nothing. And then when there is music, it's the same 2 songs they play every single episode, or it does not fit the scene at all. It is so confusing. It is.
But again, it's also the fact that a lot of the sounds that they use, a lot of the transformation sounds and the fighting sounds and the grunts and shit, it's all so weirdly mixed that it's it kind of takes you out of it. It's wait, why does this sound so... Honestly, it sounds unfinished. And see, I watched the Chinese version, as Jay said earlier, to see is the sound mixing as bad there? No, it's not. So this is obviously just a dubbing issue. The dub just... I don't know if they told the company who was dubbing it, hey, we want you to just redo all the sounds to make sure everything fits. Or maybe the company didn't give them, the clean, episodes without the fucking ADR. I don't know. But it sounds so weird. And, and the thing is, this isn't us nitpicking, if, an episode of, I don't know, Saber had weird sound mixing. No. This is legitimately from episode 1, you hear it and you're just why does it sound like they're just playing the sound effects on set? It's weird, dude.
It is. It's distracting, especially because, again, every single sound effect is some generic stock sound effect, and that in itself is not bad. I mean, I'm going to be entirely honest. Every single time I hear the Doom's door opening sound in this show, I get a little concerned, but I know that's just a generic sound effect, so I'm not shocked or anything.
The PTSD coming at you, boy.
Look, every time I hear that sound effect, I expect to see at least 3 imps whenever a door opens, all right? It's ingrained in my mind now. Anyways, that's not the point. That's not the point. The fact is that the sound effects or the music mixing and the sound mixing, it is just another layer of baffling things on this show. And again, I did not watch the Chinese version, so I cannot compare. But if what AJ say is true, it's actually decent. I don't know if it's just incompetent mixing with the dub, where they were overlaying the sound effects and they just they had to balance things out by muting stuff, or they had to replace music or whatever. I don't know. Maybe not. It's so weird. It is just weird.
It feels like it. Excuse me. It does not feel like a professionally made dub whatsoever. It honestly feels like they gave this dub to like Jay said, 3 jackasses they found on the street. But here, do a dub for us, boys. They're like, oh, okay.
And that's that's kind of what I was going to say about the show, is that it's amateurish. In a lot of ways, so. I mean that positively. I mean that amateurishly in a good way. There are a lot of things in the show that I like that are very, very, very amateurish, but it is done in such a good way where I feel like I can tell that they at least gave a shit when they were making this. They didn't know what they were doing, but they gave a shit. But then other times, they are just lazy, and it is just bad, and it's confusing because there are other elements that are actually fairly decent, but on the other hand, they're just lazy, and it just adds to the bizarre quality of the show.
Like I think a lot of the suits in the show, had they had been made by somebody from I don't know. I'm pretty sure the person who does it at Toei has a name, but like had they been made
Plex
by some,
is the company that does it.
What's the name?
Plex is the company.
Flax? Okay.
Plex.
Oh, Plex. Okay. I'm pretty sure like if they gave it to somebody from like Toei, some of these suits would have looked fucking clean as shit. But they're not, and they're made by some dude who probably has never made a suit before, and he's just like, okay. And like, again, for the most part, they're not like, it's not like they're terrible. It's just they could be better.
No, yeah, that's the thing, is that like you could tell they didn't really have a whole lot of money to put this together, and you know they did the best they can, and for the most part, all the suits are fairly decent. Like the monster suits are usually always pretty stellar. They have that kind of cheesy, cheap quality to them, but that makes them look good, honestly, in a weird way. But the hero suits are a little more mixed. Like I think if Dragon Man wasn't so horribly eye-blindingly saturated, he would probably look better.
Honestly, honestly, it's kind of weird because like they went through like peaks and valleys where it's like Dragon and Eagle, all right. Then the next one I think was like was fucking Rhino Dude and the Mass Ritter, Mastiff. Those were kind of sucky. And then you get the gold armor, which I don't remember it's Tiger. And then you got the Flash armor, which I thought actually looked really nice. And like those looked all right. It's just weird how like some things they looked really good and some things they looked fucking awful.
Honestly, I think that the best suit was Mastiff Man, because I think he has the most like coherent color scheme, and it's not like super eye saturatedly blinding, and he's not like super metallic or shiny or anything. And I just like his design overall, to be entirely honest. I
kind of like, I was gonna call them scissors. I kind of like Tigers.
Tigers is a good second. I liked Eagle Man a little bit more in terms of the designs, but I think his color scheme's kind of shit. I think if they didn't have the yellow, I think he would probably be better. Because
Eagle Man,
he has the power of wood. Speaking of the fucking, like, yeah, they have element powers, which, one, they never use, and two, don't fucking correspond to what they actually do. And I'm sure that's probably like a cultural thing, but like, why the fuck is the Eagle guy wood? Why the fuck is Mastiff Man one a Mastiff, and two, why is he metal? What the fuck does any of this have to do with anything?
Because Eagle Man's got the power. He's got the power. Look, so honestly, dude. And I said this in the server. This almost like, so the way that the heroes, not the writers, sorry, the armor heroes use their powers, it feels like a super ripoff of like Faiz and Kabuto. Because they basically have clock up. These guys they don't use it, but they have clock up.
And kind of, yeah. Fucking like Dragonman has fucking time stop powers that you would think would be the most broken shit in the show, but he only does it like twice.
Well, they got to give him a fair chance.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so they have clock up. It's like, oh, then fucking not Eagle, Dragon Dude. He keeps doing the Faiz hand flick.
Yeah, he keeps doing that. I was like, oh, haha, it reminds me of Faiz, and then he's like. He keeps doing it.
Doing it.
It's like, what do you have, fucking carpal tunnel or something? Come
yes.
on. I thought there was going to be like, I thought they were going to reveal that was like a thing, like an actual like character arc for him, because his whole shit is that like, oh, he's a pianist and he wants to be professional, but he's got to balance his hero thing, and you know his mom. I think that was his mom. I don't know. She was. It's so weird because they introduce his mom and she's straight up like, I want you to be a famous pianist because I want to live vicariously through your fame. And she just straight up admits that, and he's just fine with it. It's so weird. It's the weirdest thing. But no, I figured it was going to be like a thing about like, oh, your fighting is injuring your hands, and that's like a weird tick thing. It's like you have to give it up or else you're never going to be playing the piano or some bullshit like that. Like no, he just does it. He just flails his arm around like a jackass.
It's so weird too because I'm just like, why are you doing that? There's really no reason why you should be doing that. 'Cause it just kind of feels awkward.
See, like it's fine to give your characters little like in suit ticks or something. Like Eagle, he does the thing where like he slowly taps the little like power up screen thing with his sword. Like okay, that's kind of clever, but there's no real reason for any of it. I mean, not like there's ever any reason for any of these things.
No, but it just seems kind of weird, especially because again, with fucking I wasn't Dragon Boy, he keeps fucking doing it, and it's so weird because it's just like with Fies, yeah, I get it. It's because it's showing that he's about to fuck your shit up. Okay, fine, I get it. But then
he only does it the once. He doesn't do it like
Eagle
6 times in a fight.
Pa. It's like fuck off. I get it. It's your gimmick, but fuck off.
Like we're tired of it already.
I'm already tired of it. It's episode 1. Get out of here. Who else we got? Oh, you know what? While we're at it, let's talk about the fucking song because holy shit.
Yeah, we've joked about the song already by now, like 3 times.
It's the same in Chinese.
I figured as much.
It's the exact same, only it's somehow worse in English because I guarantee you that they had the fucking dub actors sing it and none of them knew how to sing.
So, let me give you the first experience to me watching this show. Because of course, as always, I'm the one who starts the shows first because I'm insane. So I load up the first episode, and we get the opening intro, and I'm like, all right, this is pretty generic. And then it becomes a fucking like late 90s, early 2000s rap metal song for some reason. And it's like, here's the thing. First of all, the lyrics are horribly generic. Like there's nothing to it. Is literally just talking about the characters and how they are the armor heroes, something light, something darkness. It's so like generic, but it hits you like a fucking truck because it is, again, you've got this fucking Limp Bizkit tier rap metal song for absolutely no good reason.
It's really bad.
I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a fucking joke, honestly. And the worst part too is that it's 2 fucking minutes long.
The whole song.
The intro, the show is only like 20 minutes because the intro and the outro are 2 minutes long each. It's so fucking like weird. I don't know why. I honestly had to skip it. It was so bad. I could not keep listening to it.
Jay, the fact of the matter is that not only is the intro and outro 2 minutes long, they always show like the last 4 minutes of the previous episode.
It's so weird. Yeah, the fucking preview, which never show like I don't think ever shows like the next episode. It just shows a random fucking clip. Which again which goes into the editing of the show where there's excuse me. Oh, I don't know what that was. The editing is so bad in this show. Like the episodes
it does not feel finished.
Like there's no coherent flow from scene to scene or episode to episode. Episodes will just start randomly in the middle of a scene, and then episodes will just end in the middle of a scene with no coherence. There's no like build up, there's no proper plot structure. You've got shit like again, think of your average Kamen Rider episode. You get your opening, starts with the intro, setting up whatever happened from last week. You get the characters dicking around, we get the introduced to the monster, and they, more dicking around, they fight the monster, and then it ends on a cliffhanger, or they beat the monster, and then we move on to the next plot. No, that's not how it works. That's not how it works in this show.
It's like, see, the thing is, like, sometimes, and maybe this is just me, because I wasn't, like, my brain just fuzzed over, but sometimes it doesn't even feel like they finished the plot they were fucking on.
No. Like, episodes will, like, plot lines will just stop for episodes at a time, and we'll just cut to nothing important every single episode.
Oh my god, don't get me started on that shit. So many episodes cut to some fucking bitch and her goddamn dumplings.
The fucking Dragon Man's, like, again, mom or aunt or whoever the fuck.
I don't know.
Who's just, at least once an episode, will fucking cut to her in her goddamn kitchen talking about how great her food is, and she'll go in full fucking exhaustive detail about how she makes her food, and what the ingredients are, and what the properties of it are, and how good it is, and blah, 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 blah.
Might as well just tell me how to fucking make it.
Exactly. Every single time, I thought they were just gonna, like, straight up show me how to fucking make this shit. I thought it was gonna become a cooking show halfway through every
fucking great
friggin' episode.
Oh my god, so great.
It's so, like, and then again, there's several episodes where there's just scenes of Jimmy on the computer talking to people, and it has no bearing on anything at all.
Oh,
he's
yeah,
just talking with a random
like that
assholes
random
on, like,
dude who's like really into Toku also, like in the background.
Yeah, he's got literally us but Chinese, and there's some dude with a huge like spread of like manga and bootlegs, and you can tell they're bootlegs because they're very, very crappy. You've got some like weird like cam horror chick, you've got some like fat ass, you've got like again, you just have a random assortment of people that he just talks to online.
And the thing is,
for some reason,
and again, they all come out randomly. None of this is set up as like, oh, this is where I get all my scoops, or this is where I can get some information and shit. No, that's
what it is. But they don't fucking tell you that. He'll just cut to him sitting on the computer talking to these fucking people, asking them random questions, and nothing they say is relevant at all. They are just fucking rambling, which, again, I guess is completely fair of just going into a random chat room and asking people questions about shit. But still.
I mean, sure, but still, man, come on.
It's like again, shit just kind of happens in this show. There's really no coherence to any of the plot lines. And then again, that's strange. Again, there is no main plot to speak of, but that stretches to the main plot of the show. I don't know what the fuck the villain's plan was. Do you know what they wanted, AJ? Because I don't. I was paying attention.
I'm gonna try and think of what. So okay. This is literally what I got from it. They wanted to kill the armor heroes because they were descendants of the Light Village, and because of that, they were trying to kill all the other descendants of the Light Village, which doesn't really make sense because they have armor heroes in their ranks, which means they would already have to kill those armor heroes anyways, which doesn't make sense because then that would kind of...
Again, exactly, like, they kind of set that up where, oh, they're trying to kill other descendants of the Light Village so they can prevent more armor heroes from existing more, either immediately or down the line, but it doesn't fucking matter because at only one point does that ever become relevant to the plot, and the other armor heroes just either already exist or they just fucking show up out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's another thing. They don't build up any of these guys.
Like, most of them just show up. Like, again... Okay, fine. We have one who shows up immediately at the start. Like, most of the armor heroes are just established at the beginning of the show. Only, like, one of them gets his powers later on, and there's actually an establishment to his character. Even though he just kind of fucking shows up at some point, I guess. I don't know. He just suddenly becomes important. I wasn't paying attention, I think, because he just shows the fuck up, and I guess everybody knows who he is. It's... But then, like again, we get Sam, who's like, he's just suddenly, it's like, oh, by the way, I found out that you're a descendant of the Light Village too. It's like, okay, I didn't know you were trying to figure that out for him. You'd think you would have already fucking done that by now, dipshits. But no, I guess you had better things to do. No, fuck off. And then you get like half of them just kind of walk into the show with no setup at all. And then there's like the villain's plan have something to do with like pollution or some shit because like
it does?
I guess, because there's something about, like, there's a fucking moment where they're like, something air pressure, and that's how we have armor heroes. And I fucking watched that, like, 4 times, and I don't understand. And I guess, like, there's, like...
But Jay, look, it's like how coffee and soda both have sugar.
there's like 2 episodes where they're like, oh, the villains are like, they gain power from pollution, and that's why they're trying to pollute the air, but they only do that for 1 fucking episode, and they just forget about that.
I forgot about that.
I only remember because I wrote it down. Like, and then it's never brought up again. Like, okay, yeah, we get more powerful from pollution, but I guess fucking not anymore. Whatever.
The thing is, like, I don't remember a single time where they were actively trying to pollute anything.
There was only there was 1 episode where a monster was trying to like pollute the ocean, which, I mean, by the way, trying to pollute the South China Sea, yeah, you're not going to do anything to that, buddy. That shit's already disgusting. But no, I don't. What? Again, shit just comes up, and this extends to the villains themselves. The show keeps establishing new big bads, and they're like, it's like a fucking like shonen manga where they introduce a villain and nobody gives a shit about the villain, so the author creates another new villain, and then they end up creating 8 new villains by the end of the arc because the previous one was just not cool enough for them. It's like fucking it's like the fucking Cell Saga, where we just keep getting new fucking main villains over and over and over again with no coherence at all.
Yeah.
And we get this, the guy, the creepy shadow king general whatever guy in the cloak with the creepy dark voice, and you think he's going to be the main villain.
You mean not Zordon?
Yeah.
And he sounds so much like his voice actor.
He kind of does, yeah. And you think he's going to be the main villain, but no, he just dies like 10 episodes in.
Oh, yeah.
He was the fucking Tiger Man at one point for some fucking reason.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Was he supposed to be a descendant of the Light Village too? I thought they hated those.
I guess so.
I thought that it was only supposed to be direct descendants of Pee Pee Poo Poo Papa fucking Light Village people. But is he a Light Village person?
I think he was. I don't know.
That doesn't explain anything because
he just fucking has the Tiger Man armor for no good reason.
Was he like trying to be like Highlander? There could be only one? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. But then they introduce another main villain who's like, he's like a fucking cyborg for some reason. By the way, his name is Professor Kevin, which made me laugh my ass off every time they say his name. Again, they do like Americanized names for everybody, including the villains. So you just have your villains with like normal ass names. It's hysterical.
You can give them a Chinese name if you wanted to. It's fine.
You don't have to give them even a real name. You can just make some shit up. Like, you've got the fucking the Weasley assistant villain dude who's always wearing a face mask for no good reason, even though nobody else does. And again, I thought that was supposed to be something like, oh, the air is too clean, China's air is too clean for the villains. Again, I think that's probably why they dropped the thing about pollution, because this is in China and that would be entirely irrelevant.
No, JJ, it's fine. If you say anything about pollution, they just send you to a very nice day camp to teach you that it's not that bad.
Yeah. But again, I thought that was supposed to be a thing, is that oh, I guess it's something about the air where he wears a mask. But no, none of the other villains wear a mask. He just wears a fucking face mask when they're not in their secret lair for no good reason.
And don't forget his fucking voice. Holy shit.
His fucking voice is like... God, who does he sound... He fucking...
You know what he sounds like? He sounds like an evil Double D.
A little bit.
He sounds like evil Double D.
There's some... God... What did his voice reminded me of somebody, but I can't remember now for the life of me. He's got this weird nasally, high-pitched voice,
which, by the way, he does not have in the Chinese version.
Well, I figured as much, and then his name is just John. His name is John. All right.
Hey, John.
And I get
that's what I don't get either. Even for the villains, they give them these weird ass names. Why? You don't have to.
Exactly. The only one who has anything closely resembling a villain name is Ivan, and again, he ends up turning good anyways, which is the only thing of a character arc the show has. It's so weird. This
entire show is just awkward because either it doesn't make sense, or half of the show just kind of happens and you're just like, wait, what?
And then there's like,
it.
and then again, you like they keep building up the professor dude, the cyborg guy, as like, oh, he's the real big bad. But no, there's just another final big bad as well. And then fucking John, and then a bunch of random assholes who dress like fucking, again, they dress like fucking Juggalo, new metal fans. They're the final bosses, I guess, because they just get monster forms out of fucking nowhere. And then they fucking fuse into a fucking giant monster that looks like a bootleg version of Tyrant from Resident Evil 2. It's so, oh my god, like shit just happens in this show.
No, see, the thing is, like, people like people at home, you're probably hearing it, like, oh, it can't be that. It is this incoherent. Like, things just literally happen just to happen. And then when you think, okay, maybe it's not that bad, and then it just keeps getting worse because, like, they add more elements, they take away elements without ever saying that they take away elements, and it's just like, I don't know what's happening. And you know what? Maybe it's because of I'm trying to remember how to pronounce his name. Phone Rebel. There you go. From our server, he mentioned. I think he's actually from China. Phone Rebel. He mentioned he watched the show in Chinese, and he's like, "No, this show is completely different in the dub. Like, the story in the dub is not the story in the original." I would really want to know how the fuck it's changed.
I would almost believe that if it weren't for the fact that the episodes themselves are edited so nonsensically that I could not imagine what this story would be that would make any kind of sense in the original version.
I mean, who knows? Maybe the dub is also edited.
I mean,
like the actual footage.
Like, I wouldn't be surprised because, again, the editing is just like somebody. It feels like somebody took the episodes, put them into, like, fucking, I don't know, Vegas or whatever, and cut them up randomly and stitched the episodes together at random. It feels like it is randomly generated content.
It does. It actually feels like AI generated fucking Toku.
So unless what is up on YouTube officially is just completely incomprehensible garbage to the average person, there's no way I could believe that the story is different. I will take his word for it. I believe that, yes, the story in the original version is different because that happens a lot with dubs, but at the same time, unless the episodes themselves are completely different, I could not believe that at all. There is nothing this story could be done to make these episodes coherent at all, unless the episodes themselves are also edited.
And see, the worst part is like, people are probably going to be honest, like, oh, you're not even talking about the actual story. It's like, guys, there's no story.
There isn't.
Like, there really, like, everything that we've said about the plot so far is everything that the plot gives us. There's nothing in here just like, oh, here we have this part of the story, and we have this. Like Jay said, there's 3 main villains in this entire fucking show for no reason. And it's not like they get set up like, oh, there's a real big bad. No, there's a real big bad. No, they just come in. I don't even remember when Kevin came in. He just sort of appeared.
He just kind of shows up. But again, that's the kind of thing is that they don't really do any kind of, like, there are plot lines, but they don't matter. It's all like side shit with, like, the fucking boring side cast that don't matter. Well, at least one of them ends up mattering somehow by the end. I don't fucking know how. There's just this random subplot about this kid who just kind of shows up. I think he was like an orphan or whatever, and he just kind of shows up at the fucking dumpling lady's house, and then they're friends with the little girl who's annoying as hell, who I kept confused. Like, every time there was a little girl in the show, I kept thinking it was her because it was the same fucking voice actor every time. Yeah. But no, like, half the time it's just a different character. And they set up this fucking kid that they're hanging around with, and it's like, and then he just disappears, and then he just kind of comes back from here and there, and they never really do anything to him until the last, like, 5 episodes when it turns out that he's the super ultimate secret 6th armor hero, and he's got the most powerful fucking form of all of them for some fucking reason, and there is no foreshadowing to it at all. It is so baffling. And it ends up not mattering anyways because he ends up losing his powers, basically, and then they can just the other armor heroes are like, oh, I guess we can just fucking fuse together and create the super ultimate sixth one ourselves anyways. Whatever. It was entirely pointless. And then there's this, and again, there's another story arc, like, again, right near the end, where they actually start trying to have story arcs where I guess at some point, like, the armor heroes were in, like, a coma or something, or they got their asses kicked, and there was a time skip, I guess, at some point. It would have been nice if they mentioned There was a time skip. They don't tell you there was a time skip until, like, 2 episodes after it happened. But I guess they just, like, they decided to replace the fucking armor heroes for no good reason off screen, and we don't find out until the characters find out. And then, like, you would think this is gonna be,
that
like,
happened. Yeah, I remember that happened, and I turned on that episode, and I'm just like, I'm sorry.
Like, I watched, I was like, okay, first of all, I was confused because they said, like, right at the beginning of the show that, oh, by the way, the armor hero morphers are like DNA locked, so nobody else can use it or whatever.
Bullshit.
So don't worry. Like, I'm dead serious. I know the show said that at some point.
No, it did. It did.
It did. The show specifically told you that there can only be one person who can wear the armor, which one they ignore because fucking Dragon Man gets an evil duplicate who is his annoying fucking piano enemy, who also I guess just turns out to be a relative because fucking plot convenience. But then there are other bootleg armor hero replacements, and you would think that's going to be like a 1 or 2 episode story arc where, oh, they're not cutting it, so we have replacements, but oh, the replacements are, they're not heroic enough, or oh, they end up getting defeated anyways, or oh, they don't really know what they're doing. No, they're just around for like 5 episodes, and they don't really do anything at all.
The worst part is that, like, it's not like they're bad at their job either.
No, they're just assholes.
Yeah, they're more just dicks.
Like even bigger dicks than our main cast. Bizarrely.
Oh, but it's so funny too, dude. It's so funny because, like, their voices are just like, yeah, we're a better armor hero than you.
Yeah, they sound like generic mobsters from like the 30s. It's hysterical.
It's fucking great.
But again,
I love it too because, like, they try to have like these emotional moments with them, and it's like, yeah, you can't be doing that. You have to trust your team. Yeah,
that's like the weirdest thing too. Is that, like, they straight up introduce them as being 100% antagonistic, and we are not supposed to like them. But then they also try to make us like them at the same time.
They try to give them like this weird team building arc, and I'm like
again, like they do this weird team building arc with the fucking replacement Rangers, and like, why? Why the fuck are we caring about these guys? These are not our heroes. Why are we following them? Why are they still here? It's so, like, fucking random.
Honestly, dude, until he came back, I didn't even know Eagle Man Sam was gone.
Well, I guess that's fair because, again, he also just kind of, like, dips out at random points like Dragon Man. Again, characters just come and go in this show. I guess that everybody knows them off screen, but characters just come and go. Like, there's a point where Jimmy, he just fucking leaves. He's just gone. He's done. And then he comes back, and for whatever reason, he's just quit being a reporter for no good reason. I don't know why. He just decides he wants to be a fucking fashion idol now. Sure, whatever.
Yeah,
it doesn't contribute anything to the show at all.
None of this contributes anything to the show.
But, like, that's the thing is, like, whenever they try to do arcs, they stretch it out over, like, multiple episodes because they just can't keep it coherent from episode to episode. They just kind of flow together. There's no real clear end point or beginning point to stories.
Honestly, dude, you could have started this in, like, episode 10, and it would have felt just as coherent.
I could have watched this in random order, and this probably would have been as coherent.
Honestly,
as it was.
yeah. Like, you legitimately could have. Because, like, what I did, right? Because fuck you. I skipped 3 episodes in each of so there's 50 episodes. So I skipped 10. I skipped 3 from 10, 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 30 to 40, and then 40 to 50. I skipped 3 in between all of them, and I didn't miss a fucking thing. Every single time I did that, I didn't miss a single thing. And I'm just like, what is the point of having this? It feels like they're just fucking around. It's just like, you know what, fine. You can have a show like that where it's just, being heroes and fighting off monsters and shit like that. And then eventually you beat the bad guy. Okay, I get that, since I've done that for fucking years. All right. But you at least need some kind of cohesion within the episode itself. Like, there's this one episode, right, where for no reason the chick kind of kicks out Jimmy, but she's making him a burger, which is not a burger, it's a sandwich.
Well, that was the first.
Ham
that was like
shit.
the first fucking episode too.
I don't. How do you call that a burger? It's like, have you never seen?
I don't. Again, for like lazy Americanization. That was a weird thing too, where like they really try to avoid like making you think this is China for like the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then they just give up.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know why. It was like it's more confusing that they tried rather than the fact that they didn't even bother.
Like the one of the biggest reasons why I was kind of interested in going to this is because it's Chinese. I'm like, oh, I want to see what they'll do with like the culture, you know, like how much different is this going to be from, you know, Kamen Rider shit. It's like the first.
Well, it's definitely different in a variety of ways.
Oh, I love this burger. And I'm like, Americans have ham sandwiches too. What the fuck? Also, what kind of fucking bar is this chick like running? She's like, it's like a juice soda bar with sandwiches.
It's like a generic cafe, I guess.
It looks like a bar.
Well, first of all, it's always empty in there, so I guess it's just like a shell corporation, I guess, because nobody ever fucking goes in there. Yeah, but I guess the secret science organization, which is called ERP, by the way, and every single time they said that, I got a little concerned because
oh no,
I don't know if you know what ERP means because they don't explain it in the show, but I certainly know what ERP means.
Everyone knows.
Yeah, so every time they said that, I got a little concerned, but yeah, I guess they just like it's just a fucking prop. I guess maybe I don't know. They never. It's just there. Like, okay, like I get it. You know, the heroes always have their hangout. There's always the one place, there's the one set they always return to, and that's where they do their team meetings. But usually it's not like owned by the team itself. It's usually just a place. It's usually like if it's not their generic secret base, it is just a place around. Like, you know, with Power Rangers, they do that all the time. There's the juice bar in the original show. There's like,
everyone remembers that.
With Dino Thunder, you know, there's the cafe, and then there's at school, and then there's Jason David Frank's basement. You know, every show has like 2 or 3 of like they've got the hero hangout, and then they've got where we hang out when we're pretending to be normal people. Like, okay, that's fine. But here it's just the same thing, and like I guess it's just empty. There's no real reason for them to have like a secret cafe or whatever because they don't really do anything with it.
See, what I don't understand is like, so again, I'm not expecting the show to set it up. Why?
No.
But okay, these armors, these light armors, are supposed to be these magical fucks. Excuse me. These magical mystical fucks that like are only used by the descendants of fucking Tojo clan. I don't know. Only used by like the descendants of the Light clan and blah 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 blah. All right, so where in the fucking ancient scrolls that we mentioned orbital lasers?
Yeah, they've got a fucking teleporter, and they've fucking like they just get flying motorcycles at one point near the end, and they just show up. Like, there's kind of an establishment to them. It's like, oh, well, the old armor heroes had these. Okay, well, how do we get them? I don't know. And then they just kind of get them. They just get them off screen, basically.
I don't know how we do that. We just fly.
Yeah, they've got the giant fucking space satellite that has a giant teleporting super laser. First of all, if they're going to have a teleporter, that's one thing. Why is it a giant fucking space laser as well? It makes no sense. Cool. See, it's like, again, it's fine to have, like, the cool secret hideout, and it's fine to have, like, oh, they can just teleport to where the monsters is. Having it be this giant, impractical space laser makes absolutely no sense at all. It is just so confusing.
It's even weirder because, like, again, they're supposed to be these secret fucking, you know, these secret rogue operatives, you know, oh my god, gotta keep a secret, ancient Chinese whatchamacallits.
Yeah, we need to keep the masquerade on our identities so the shadow people don't drag us to the shadow realm.
I'm pretty sure
and kill
Elon
us.
Musk has seen that fucking satellite at least 5 times by now.
I'm pretty sure. If he's not blowing up his own ships, he's probably seen it.
I'm pretty sure he made it.
He might have, because it looks like shit.
He probably made it himself. He's like, oh yeah, why not? I'll do this ancient Chinese bullshit.
But yeah, like there's like an attempt to keep the secret, the masquerade going of their heroes and their identities, but they keep failing at it because they have the giant space laser, and also they just like keep telling everybody who they are, and there's an attempt at misdirection early on where Jimmy fucking sees them transforming and gets their photos and everything, and they're trying to steal the photos from him, but he had fake photos anyways, I think, but they stole the photos either way. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. It's so fucking random. It's amateurish.
It's bad.
It is. If you told me that this was if this was like Yatsurugi, if this was like a small local company in this country, in this small part of this country, with basically no budget and a handful of people, I would probably like this a little bit more.
Honestly, yeah, I would, because I would be really impressed.
It's genuinely impressive when it's not completely baffling and incoherent. There are parts I like about this show. The fights are, despite the fact that they're entirely pointless the entire time, they're pretty good. I mean, they're not great, of course. Again, they're very amateurish, but you can tell that they're giving a shit about these fights. They're a little slow, and you can tell that they probably it feels like somebody filmed them doing a test fight, and then they just put that into the episode. But there's
there's a lot of those.
There's attempts at doing wirefu stuff. There's some CGI, there's some special effects, and they usually look pretty bad. But I mean, again, if this was an amateur local production, sure, that looks better than most companies could probably do. It looks good for 2009 on a no budget at all kind of production. But
oh yeah,
at the same time, it's so there are clear flaws with the show that anybody who would have given a single shit in the production should have caught. And I don't know if that's an issue with the dub itself. And again, with the editing, I don't know if that's the dub or not. Because again, AJ said that the episodes were the same when he watched the Chinese version. So I guess so. Maybe. Who knows?
Again, it's like you said, it comes off as really awkward, and it comes off just you're kind of sitting there the whole time just thinking, did they have a plan before turning on the camera? Because I don't think they did. It kind of feels like they're just kind of fucking just going with it, really.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is that if you told me this was just a small group of people with no money just kind of fucking around with some suits and a camera, I'd be impressed with it. It's not great. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's, I'd be more impressed with it. But
it'd be on the same level as Yatsurugi, where it's this is not really, good, but for what it is, it's impressive because there's just some couple of jackasses just, I
mean, I would still say Yatsurugi is better than this, naturally.
Oh, yeah, because
at
least Yatsurugi, I knew what the fuck was happening.
Yeah, exactly. You could at least, you didn't need to fucking rewatch the same scene 3 times because shit just kind of kept happening.
3 times? Motherfucker, I had to watch entire episodes 3 times.
Well, that's because you're a dipshit.
Motherfucker, I don't know what's going on half the time.
I don't either, but at least I know what episode I fucking watched, and I didn't have to watch the entire thing again, moron.
Well, that was Wizard.
Well, fair enough. Either way, my point stands. I can at least pay attention enough where I don't have to rewatch entire episodes. Mostly because nothing really happens to pay attention.
You know what? I tried to pay attention to this shit. As soon as Jimmy comes in, I just don't care.
No, well, I mean, I'm the opposite. I start caring when he's around because he's the best. But that's the worst part about the show.
Wait, that's somebody else. I was thinking of fucking Mastiff. God, I'm getting the fucking names mixed up now.
Mastiff
fucking
Man
Ivan Ooze.
Ivan Ooze, yeah, Mastiff Man Ivan Ooze. There's really nothing to talk about this shit. Like every single episode, something new and more baffling will happen. And by the finale, I'm just kind of numb to it. seriously, like I'm gonna explain exactly how I felt watching the final fight when the 5 super final villains become one giant evil mega super villain, and the armor here, and he just kind of flies off, I guess, and then Dragon Man Eric, he turns to the others and with absolutely no thought or care at all to what he's saying, he's like, "We need to take this fight into space." And everybody's just immediately on the plan. And I was like, I legitimately, I was just like, you what? What? I had to go back because I was so caught off guard when he said we need to go into space to fight the villain.
I want to go to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space.
The villain wasn't even going into space. He was just there, and they decide that they need to go into space for no good reason. So they fucking get on their flying motorcycles that just showed up a few episodes ago, and they fly into space. How they knew they could even survive in space, let alone how their stupid flying motorcycles would even get up there.
They didn't. They just wanted to die.
I don't know. They just fucking took a gamble on that plan, but it works. And then they go to fucking space and blow up the dude, but then he doesn't blow up. But then they suddenly get the power to fucking merge like fucking fusion dance style into one guy. Yeah. And then they just keep like, it is just like 6 minutes of special effects smashing the big bad, and it is just incoherence on incoherence. It is genuinely baffling when they just suddenly say that they need to go into space and everybody is just immediately on board for it. I genuinely did not know what was going on when that happened.
I mean,
and that's really what the summary of the show is that baffling shit just keeps happening, and eventually you just become numb to it.
Basically, yeah. That's basically the show in a nutshell, because, like, the whole time, I'm just like, did that happen? Is this happening? Am I actually, like, watching? Like, I'm
is this
speechless.
A prank? Is this a real show? I don't know anymore.
I really couldn't, like, it was to a point where I'm just like, I really do not know what's going on. Like, I really tried to, like, follow what was going on, and I couldn't. And this is when I was watching every single episode. It wasn't when I just gave up. No, I fucking tried, dude. I tried to watch this fucking like all of them, and I still could not understand. I felt like I was going insane. That's how it felt like, because they're just so incoherent, so almost randomly put together. Again, I said before, if you watch this show out of order, you're more than likely not going to feel like you missed anything.
No, yeah, you could just probably pick episodes at random to watch in any order you choose, and you'll probably have just as much of a coherent time watching it in order.
Especially because, again, a lot of the villains and a lot of the heroes that get introduced and all this, none of them have any real goals. None of them have any real character development. None of them have any real, like, changes that you would need to build this up for. Like, again, the only one who does is, like, Ivan, and even him is like, that's barely like you're pulling at straws.
Like,
there.
they attempt it with Eric and his piano shit, but that's just dropped for huge chunks of the show. And then there's, like, again, there's at one point, like I mentioned earlier, where his rival for no good reason becomes the new Dragon Man, basically because fucking, what was his name? Not Aaron, the Rhino
John?
dude.
Oh, what the fuck was his name?
I don't fucking remember. I just had the list up and I don't even care anymore to look at.
Jimmy! I don't know.
The fucking Rhino dude, for absolutely no good reason, decides that he wants to replace him as Dragon Man and picks this little shithead who has absolutely zero combat training at all. And Eric is just fine with it. He's just like, alright, sure, whatever, I don't care. And then he turns evil for no good reason, and nothing is done with it. there's just suddenly an evil dragon man for some reason.
And that's the thing. Like I really tried to give this show a chance because I saw the length and I saw everything about it, and I'm just like, I really hope this is good. And I really didn't know what was going on. I really didn't know, man. Like, I don't even know how this show ended. Like, I still don't believe I saw the ending of the show.
I fucking watched it and I didn't realize, like, I didn't even think that was the ending because it just ends like every other fucking episode. Like, okay, sure. They defeat the monster and then just stuff fucking happens. One of the villains is just alive again for no good reason, even though she was
Season 2!
The giant monster and blew the fuck up. Sure, whatever. Don't even joke about season 2 because there are more seasons.
I know. There's like 6 of them, I think.
I think so.
There's a lot of seasons.
I don't know. I'm done. I'm done with this show. I hate it. This is going to sound unbelievable coming from me of all people, but I did genuinely try to give this show a fair shot. I did not want to immediately go into this trying to hate it.
Yeah.
I mean, I ended up hating it by the end, but that's not because I wanted to. I mean,
that's how we go with. That's how we go into every show. We don't want to hate something.
Again, I've said before that I don't like to be one of those douchebags who's like, oh, I wanted to like it, but no, because if you're going to be like that, then you're already going to go into it expecting to hate it. But no, like I was going to give this a fair shot. I was not going to go in with any intentional bias, but no, it's just not good. It's not good at all.
And again, that's just like I was saying. Like I went into this because I was like, I really want to see what they're gonna do with, because again, it's a Chinese, tokusatsu. I want to see how different the culture is. I want to see how different they do certain stories. I want to see how different it was, and if this is what China fucking does, and no, thank you.
Well, we already know what China does, of course. But
well, I mean, yeah.
If this is what they do for their TV shows.
And then Jay and AJ went to vacation for 20 years and nothing happened.
Yeah, man. This show's a lot like Tiananmen Square. Nothing happens in it. Dude, I fucking wrote that down during episode 1, and I've been waiting so long to use it. I was deliberately saving it for the end because I know that's when when I bust out that joke is when we're done with the episode.
Oh my fucking god.
See, again, that's why I wanted to go into the show with no bias, because I'm a racist and I hate the Chinese.
We already have the Toku Lady podcast hating us. We don't need the rest of them.
I hate women and I hate the Chinese. So what?
God
but
damn
no,
it.
Jokes aside, again.
You hate the Chinese?
I do. Well, I do, but that's not a joke. That's serious. No, jokes aside, again, I did want to actually try and be proven wrong. I didn't want my biases on this show to be proven. I was like, okay, maybe this will be good because I've seen Korean tokusatsu and those are pretty good. So maybe this will be pretty good too. But nope, not even close. No, even close to even
you know what? Maybe the other. I think Legend Heroes is Legend Heroes part of Armor Heroes?
No, that's Korean. That's what I was actually talking about. Actually, just then is I was expecting it to be like that because that was really good. I mean, it wasn't particularly high quality or anything, but it was good. It was really enjoyable.
Yeah, I know that's on the wheel actually.
And for a second, I thought that's what we were going to do. To be entirely honest,
you thought we were going to do Legend Heroes?
I thought. I forgot the name of it. I thought that's what we were about to do when we were going into this. I thought we were doing Legend Heroes. And I got excited for a moment. And I'm like, oh, no, this is completely different. Okay, maybe it'll be good. I've given a couple of these, non-Japanese shows a shot, so maybe it'll be decent. Nope, not at all.
I just hate the fact that I was like, oh man, this seems really, really different. Like you said, this seems like something different. We're always in for something different, we love that shit. But fuck off!
Fuck you.
This was awful. The wheels now.
if this was like, I enjoy the amateurish aspects of this show. I like how amateurish it is because it reminds me of something that just like it was a couple of people who just slapped this shit together because they were trying to have fun. They wanted to screw around and make a monster fight show. But even then, like, it is just so poorly put together and poorly thought out that I don't know who this was made for or what they were thinking when they were making this.
You know what it feels like, Jay? And of course, you know, it being 52 fucking episodes, it couldn't be. But this feels like this was going to be like a proof of concept type thing. Where it's like they showed it off to like the network executive or whatever the fuck, like whatever. And it's going to be like, okay, this is what we want to do. This is how we're going to do it. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that's kind of, I can see that. I can see that this would be a proof of concept. But it wasn't.
No.
It was a thing that I had to watch. And guys, I'm not going to joke. And this honestly was worse than Wizard in the fact that I don't remember half of it. I do not. It left that little of an impression on me every single time I ended an episode that I was just like, I mean, yeah, it happened, I guess. The fuck else
Wizard
do you want me to say?
at least has, like, characters who you like and want to see do things. I mean, sort of.
It had Beast.
Wizard has characters, I guess.
It had Beast. That was it.
It did. Yeah.
You know what? Beast is better than this entire show. It's fine.
That is true. I mean, he is better than this entire show combined.
He's better than Wizard and Armor bitches.
Armored bitches, yeah.
Armored bitches. Oh yeah.
See, that would be a better show.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch, Jay. It's just gonna be a bunch of dogs in like knight armor.
Ugh. Well,
Mystic Knights of Tiradoge. There you go.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of want to watch that show, actually.
I don't think it's that. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, but I don't think it's that long.
I think there's like 2 seasons, but I think they're average TV length.
2
seasons,
huh? Okay.
Well, I mean, I think so. I'm pretty sure it was one of those shows where like, oh, Saban's actually gonna try and give a shit, but then that wasn't making money, so he gave up.
It's weird. I remember kind of. Well, I mean, then again, I watched this when I was like 7. I remember liking it when I was a kid, so I haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's not bad.
It
I mean, I've only seen like clips of it, but I mean, it looks decent.
It'll be Armor Heroes in America.
Shut up.
Honestly, I don't think anything can be as boring as Armor Stupids. Okay,
well,
so time for the wheel.
Let's hope you didn't just fucking jinx us there. I don't know. I've been praying. I've been pouring my luck into hoping we get something good for the wheel. So hopefully my karma balances out this week.
Wheel of morality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the racism.
Something Uyghurs. I don't know.
Uyghurs. Party wieners.
I mean, yeah.
Isn't that just Phil though?
Yeah, that is true.
Phil is a Uyghur.
Oh, I was talking about the Muslims that
the
Chinese are exterminating. The literal active genocide that they're going through right now. But it's fine because it's China.
Holy shit!
Listen, I don't respect the Chinese government. All right, I don't care what they do to this shit.
I mean,
okay?
I don't either. No one should respect the Chinese government.
So exactly. So I don't know why you're acting the way you are.
PP on the CCP.
Exactly.
Anyways, so next week we are doing. Let me just. Yeah, this is subbed. Okay, this is subbed. We're doing this one called Unifix. No, Unfix.
What?
Unfix.
The fuck?
It is officially on YouTube.
Oh,
as
okay,
in all 12 episodes, I am assuming.
Oh, only 12 episodes? Okay, that's good.
Wait, what is this? Oh wait, what? Why are there? So for some reason, the official channel has this playlist of random scenes in Japanese from the Terminator movies.
Oh my god, you gotta like me that. I don't believe you. I do not believe you.
I mean, I'm gonna check if they are actually in Japanese though. Hold on. Come on. Is it? Oh my god, it is! These are holy shit. Hold on, I got before I send you the actual channel. Here's the playlist. It's just random scenes of Japanese Terminator 1 and 2.
Oh my god, I don't
That's
fucking
awesome.
believe this.
Holy
This is
shit,
the
that's cool.
That's the official channel for this show? Are you kidding me?
I mean, to be fair, I don't think this channel is... Oh, wait. Is that fucking Juggler?
What?
I think that's Juggler. I think Juggler's in this show.
Oh shit.
Oh, what? Hold on. I gotta see this. Is that Juggler? I have to tell. Oh my god.
Hang on. Let me link me the episode 'cause I'm having trouble finding it.
Hold on. Aoyagi. Is that Juggler's name?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Juggler's in the show.
Hang on. Link me the show. I can tell you for sure.
Here you go. For some reason, it's 158 seconds in. I don't know. Aoyagi. Oh my god. Do Juggler be?
Oh yeah, that's definitely him.
Oh fuck yeah! So this is 12 episodes. All you need to do is turn on the captions. It's in English. I don't know how good of English, of course.
Wait, a film? What?
Wait, where does it say a film?
It says a director of film. I didn't read the name. Okay, I guess it's like a movie split up. I don't know.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's only 14 minutes, so I'm assuming. I really hope this is the full. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that is totally Juggler. I can tell by his voice.
Because it says right here that because I actually looked up to see if it was subbed because that's what I always do in case shit goes weird. Like it says here 12 subbed on the official This is the official YouTube channel, and that's 12 episodes. So
I guess so.
We're doing Unfix. I have literally no idea what this is. It's been on the wheel for a while. So
oh wait, no, this channel with the Terminator stuff is not the same show or not the same channel.
Oh, so it's just a playlist on the channel.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's so weird either way.
That's fucking. I mean, that's pretty fucking baller. I won't lie.
Dude, Japanese Terminator, I'm all in, dude. So yeah, next week we're doing. I have no idea what the show's about. Actually, does it have a synopsis? Let me see. About. No, it doesn't. Oh, there's a Twitter though. That leads me to the mobile version of this. Of course it does. This official account, science fiction serial drama. It's the activities and daily life of the Ground Defense Force, specializing in extraterrestrial life. Free delivery on YouTube.
Oh, so I guess this is just a show about like, this is the Monster Defense Squad goofing off. I guess it looks like.
It's a fucking Office.
Maybe. Oh man, this seems like it's going to be pretty good.
Sounds. Oh my god, could you imagine? It's just like The Office. Oh, that'd be kind of fucking wild to do that with the Ultraman dudes. I could be into that.
I'd be down for that.
I mean, look how short these fucking episodes are, man. The longest one. I think it's the 12th and final episode. No, the 12th episode is down there. So there's like a special, I guess, that's like 23 minutes. But these, we can knock this out in a fucking day, dude. Holy shit.
Oh my god, yeah, fuck it.
Awesome. Right. So yeah,
finally.
Next week we're doing something completely different because fuck China.
Fuck the CCP.
PP on the CCP, baby. So with that being said, as always, I am AJ. That's Jay.
I was gonna say something really, really offensive, but you know what? I decided not to.
This entire show is really, really offensive.
I mean, what else is new? Have you heard me talk? Have you heard the things that's come out of my mouth?
I mean, according to a certain Twitter podcast, we're just like the worst people on earth.
Well, I mean,
we have literally reincarnated Hitler, Stalin, Mao Zedong into one person. Apparently.
Why is Mao with Stalin and Hitler? He was.
Was he a good person? I don't know, dude.
He was. Yeah, he was on the Allied. You're thinking of what was his? What was the?
Kim Jong Il. There you go.
No, Hirohito. Yeah, Emperor Hirohito.
Oh, Hirohito. It's kind of it's fitting because next week we have Chad on the show.
Yeah.
We all have our own little dictator. You know, we're all cosplaying as a dictator.
Yep.
Oh my god.
All right.
Always got to end an episode that way. We'll see you guys next week.
Oh, you know it gets bad around this point.